I'm on my way back from Austin back to Canyon Lake, and we have just had a very successful first audition. The actors and actresses that presented themselves today were wonderfully talented. I have so much respect for the acting community in Austin, Texas. They are producing some people that have the ability to become those characters, to present themselves well. Everybody was on time. I mean, absolutely everybody was on time. Everybody had their material prepared. They dressed the part. It was just really a good session. Now, we did have a couple people send emails this morning and cancel, and I'm sorry we didn't get to see those folks, but everybody else who had confirmed that they were coming, they did come, and they were good. The hardest part in cases where we have people reading for the same roles is we've got to sort out now who's better. But we've got a good handle on that. I mean, there's some actors that are pretty versatile and are able to play different roles, and so consequently, we're pleased with our decisions so far. Now, I sat down with Al and John, and we discussed all the actors after the fact, and we were all, I think, in agreement with the decisions that we've made thus far. And we haven't really made total final decisions about everybody, but there are several that we liked well enough to say, that's it, we don't need to look anymore. And that was very gratifying. Now, to get to that point, I went through literally hundreds of transactions, emails back and forth. I think the count was 523 emails just to get to this point. And that's not only, receiving people who are wanting to be part of this, but then kind of weeding through and seeing, well, this person doesn't have the look, or in some cases people sent me audio clips and video clips. I mean, there was one guy that sent a video clip that I liked a whole lot, and a couple days ago, he had to cancel because he had something else he had to do. And, I missed that, but there was a gentleman that came into his place that we liked instantly. I mean, he has the role because he was it. He was that person. So, there's others that were just like that. I mean, once we saw them, we said they fit just great. So that was nice. I mean, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know after selecting them initially on their look. I mean, that's what I look for first, and then the next thing I did is just corresponding with them, seeing how they respond, how quickly they respond, to determine whether or not they're anxious to do these kinds of roles. And so that was something I considered, because I don't want to work with somebody we have to beg. I want somebody that really wants to do this, that they've got a burning desire to do this. And so that was a criteria that I used. So what I'm going to do when I get back to the office is I'm going to begin to go through the footage. We took videotape and we made audio. I'm going to go through that and see, now that I'm not viewing it live, see how they look on camera. And if they look as good on camera as we felt they did when we watched it live, then we will have made some decisions today. and that means that we can check off some people off the list that we're going to need for the trailer. Now, we still have quite a few more roles to fill, and so we're still searching for just the right match for these other characters. So the work is far from over. And I just wonder, is that an example of what it's going to be like? Because if it is, it's going to be a pleasure working with so many professionals who call Austin, Texas their home. I don't know what it's like in LA. I've never been in LA. Well, I've been in LA, but I've never worked in LA. I've never tried to get actors in LA. I mean, when they do a casting call, do they have 500 people lining up the block and 499 of them are great? I mean, I don't know what it's like. I will say that we had a fairly good percentage of people who tested with us who, as far as I'm concerned, they can do the work. So I hope that that's what our other auditions are like. And I've got a few people that are going to be sending me auditions via internet. They're going to send a video clip. And that's because they're not here local. And I'm anxious to see those because I really think the folks from other towns, they may be good too. Most of them are from Texas, and we have one international individual who has applied, which the preliminary I've seen on her is it's very encouraging. So we'll see how she tests. The next step, after I go through all the footage and listen to the audio without the people being there, is to make the final decision for a few of these roles. Then I'm going to see if we have enough people to begin shooting some of the scenes that we need to shoot. I figure the quicker the better. The scenes we're going to have to build the sets. Some of the sets are going to be easy because they're modern day sets. Some are going to be easy because we can fake a lot. On the other hand, there will be a few sets that will be complex, but I mean, we'll get to that in time. And what I've told everybody is that I want to get the trailer done, or at least get it shot in July and August. Next 2 months. Well, this is June, July, and August. June, we won't be shooting anything in June. We're going to continue to do auditioning in June and hope to start shooting something in July. So it was a good day. We, all three of us that were making the decision, we felt that it was very positive. And I thank the city of Austin for that. The Austin film community can be very proud that they were able to fill the bill. And one of the things that I'm really adamant about is as we move up the ladder on this production, I want it to be a Texas production. I want it to be an independent production out of the state of Texas, hiring Texas actors, Texas crew. Now, I don't know when we get down to the serious large-scale motion pictures that we're going to have to do these books justice. I don't know if the so-called money people, if they'll let us do that. They may begin to say, okay, boys, you did a nice little flick here, but now let the professionals take over and we'll show you how it's done. I mean, I anticipate that that'll probably come up, but by the same token, as the writer and the owner of the story, I'm going to fight for my right to move it along in my way. And that means protect Texas as an entity, as a filmmaking state. And there's been, I think, 1,900 movies made in Texas. So there's plenty available here in Texas in terms of crew and production facilities and cast. There's plenty available here. Now, this series is going to have to be filmed in America and Ireland. It has to be. There's no way that we can not film in Ireland, because some of the scenery is absolutely critical that it be Irish scenery. But Ireland has a good film commission and a good film community, and so what we'll end up doing likely is we'll take our actors, and our principal people will come from the U.S., and then we'll hire local Irish crew. And the reason we'll do that is because, you know, we want, since this is a story about Irish immigrants to the United States, we want to support the Irish creative and film community. Even though I personally, I've never been to Ireland, I've never worked with any of their crew, I am kind of aware of their industry and their awards that they have, and the fact that they work very hard producing good quality motion pictures. So I'm convinced that they can darn sure do the work. And so when the time comes, that's what we'll do, is we'll take our major people from the U.S., but we'll hire local people from Ireland in order to do that part of the project over there.